Alright, we've got the casing and everything in place. Some of it I didn't film because we had some issues and I just didn't mess with filming it. But the casing's in place, pump is installed. I'm going to have to get a different wellhead cap because this is a 4-inch DMW instead of a 4-inch S&D, so it's a little bit too big to fit in the hole, but that's minor. What I'm going to start with now, I'm going to go ahead and get the framing done for the slab for the pump house. That'll be, you know, of course everything be in, and then the roof for the solar panels to be installed on. So that's what we're fixing to start with now. I'm going to do a 4 foot by 4 foot slab, and then we'll stand our corner posts up in the slab, and then we'll be able to frame our roof and everything up however high I need to do it once I kind of get all that figured out. You see Daisy's on a leash because up here we can't have her running loose. She'd be all over the place of this, you know, this massive area. Plus she'd be chasing the cows and everything else. So I just keep her on a leash. That way she stays close to me. All right, we're gonna get going here. The first thing I've got to do, I'm gonna turn the camera around, kind of get set up here. We got to cut a few boards and get all that set up. I'm just going to use some 1x4s because I already had some. I'm just going to use those to frame up the base of the slab. It won't make any difference because they're going to be screwed in to the 4x4 posts anyway. So, and this is basically just a slab. Its main purpose is just to keep anything out of the wellhead. So it doesn't have to be real thick or anything, or level or any of that. In fact, actually it has to be poured so that it's kind of a downhill slope away from the casing, so that it allows runoff away from it. What I'm doing here, I'm just splitting these in half, 4 foot, so that way, you know, we'll make a 4 foot square to frame up and deal with. I need to bring my little sawhorses up, but for right now, this trailer works pretty good. That gives us our 4 pieces. We'll get them laid out where they go here. And I'm having camera issues today for some reason. Things just aren't wanting to do right, but we'll get there. Get it turned down a little bit. All right. What we're going to take these and we'll lay them out and get a box figured out here. What we're going to do, we're going to come 2 foot off the center of the well. So that puts us about right here is where we want this side. So we take and kind of get it set kind of where we want it. And we're going to go, like I say, we're going to do 2 foot centered all the way around. So we'll get the box put together, and then I can kind of get it in place as to where it needs to be for the well itself. And honestly, what I need to do is my brad gun up here to deal with that, to make it a little easier just to get it touched together till we get started. So we may run and go get it and get my sawhorses. and then I think we'll get back at it. Alright, well this kind of gives a ballpark of what we're doing. We're going to be, like I said, we'll go 2 foot off the center, 2 foot off the center. And then I'm doing these posts 6 foot, which will be plenty tall enough. And then we'll just screw into each post, and then that way everything will be in the slab when I put the concrete down. We'll get the frame built, and then I'll work on kind of leveling everything up good. Take a hoe and get it all dug to where it's level, and then we'll be ready to pour the concrete in and let that set up. And like I say, the way this has got to be done, because this is a natural resources conservation project, they give you guidelines of how they want it done, and it'll start high right next to the casing and gradually come down all the way around, so that prevents any water from standing and getting down into the wellhead, even though the annular seal is there and all. But this just is another precaution of preventing any contaminated water from getting into your drinking water, which in this case really doesn't matter because it's livestock water and they drink out of that pond, so it's not really a concern, but that's just the guidelines that they give me to have to go by. So I'm gonna get another post cut here real quick, and we'll get this corner stood up, and we'll just work our way around. So I'll swing the camera around back over here to the table, and what I did with the first one was just took the post and just lay it over, get it out here on the outside. Like I say, we're going to go 6 foot tall, so we'll mark off at our 6 foot point, and then take square. Trying to get this camera where I want it to be, but it's hard to do it and try and do the work at the same time. Yeah, we're still a little low. Let's bring it up a little higher. How about we do this? Alright, let's try that. Alright, well that's still a little low. We'll try that. Okay. You're gonna have to just do, I guess, because I can't seem to. Let's try this. Let me bring it up some. Now let's try that. Alright. That'll work a little better. Okay. What we're doing, like I say, I got my 6 foot mark, and then what I'm doing is just putting me a mark on these 2 sides, so that I can slide it up here, and then I'll just take the Sawzall and cut it off, and that makes it work pretty good. Makes it a little easier to do. You can just take your Sawzall now and line up on your mark. And then that whacks that off. And of course, I'm putting the cut side down in the ground, so that way it won't make too much difference. We'll go ahead. Up. Damn it, Daisy. I knew you. Alright everybody, we're gonna try and do this again after had a little trouble yesterday with the camera. Daisy knocked it over and knocked the battery latch and a couple other things off of it, but I got it back going, so we're gonna get back going here. We're gonna be working on the pump house. So got the uprights up and we're gonna start getting the roof put on it now so that we can get the metal on and get the solar panels mounted and get this thing powered up and see what's gonna happen. Don't pay any attention to the 2x4s down to these 2x4s here. I know they're all crooked, but they're just there to keep the uprights in place until I get my frame on. So that's what we're fixing to do now, is cut some boards real quick and get on that. So we'll get a couple of these 6-footers cut for the outside. I'm no carpenter by no means, so I do the best I can with what I know and make it work. You know, that's just kind of the farmer's way, is you do what you have to do to make things work. So we're gonna get it all done one way or the other. It may not be pretty, but it'll be functional, and that's all that matters on the farm. The cows don't care what it looked like. So we'll roll with it. As usual, we start right out with a battery that's about had it. And of course, this wood this wood's real wet, so that doesn't help matters. We'll grab us another battery, and then I'm also gonna show you my little trick, which I know a lot of people do it, but we're gonna take and set up here real quick. Set the inverter up. We're gonna set the inverter up so that I can charge these batteries while I'm working. We'll use the old Nissan since this is sitting here anyway. I've got a couple different inverters, but I've got a 140 watt that I use, that I keep in the truck with me, because it's, you know, it does fine for charging my batteries and things like that, but it also will run my little air compressor that I use with that's mainly was for the Brad gun and stuff like that, but it works good airing up tires up here and things. So let me grab it. I'm sorry, I said 150 watt, but it's a 750 watts that I use, and it, like I say, it does good. It beats the heck out of having to run a generator all the time. So I just set it up here and hook it up. The good thing about it, and most all of your inverters are the same way, is that if voltage starts getting too low, they'll go to beeping and let you know, and when it does that, I just come over and start the truck up and let it run for a little bit. That way you don't mess around and run your vehicle battery down, or tractor battery, or whatever you're whatever you're using your inverter on. So and I actually used, when I was doing the well, I used my 2500 watt out of the cabin, and it ran my water pump that I was using in the drilling process, which kind of surprised me. I really didn't figure it would, but it did. Okay, so see that one's up and charging, so we're good. Okay, we'll get turned back here to the frame, and we'll take our first board. We'll lose this hood. It's starting to get a little warm, starting to warm up some. And I've got them cut at 6 foot. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put a mark on them at a foot from each end, so that I know that's where I want to line up with my 4x4s. Just make it a little bit easier getting everything lined up where you want it. And like I say, I'm not a carpenter by no means. I'm sure there's better ways of doing some of this, but I just do it the way I know how, and it's always worked. So, and what we'll do is we'll take and line up where we want it. We may have to pull them out a little bit more. I'll have to measure, see where we're at on these things. Yeah, we're going to have to come out about an inch for those to match up where they need to be. So let's go ahead and pull. We'll go ahead and pull this board out of our way. Like I say, these were just put there temporary anyway, to kind of hold everything up until I got it all framed up. So we'll go ahead and move them. And then we'll take our board, and that 4 foot mark is going to be the outside, so we'll go ahead and give it the screw started to make it a little easier. This would be a whole lot easier with 2 people, but when you only have one, you just have to do it the best you can. Okay. Then we'll take and get us another screw started. And go ahead and pull that dude out. And we're going to take and put our level on and see where we're at. Looks like this end needs to come up just a little bit. And we'll recheck everything and just kind of see where we're at, make sure we're where we want to be. We're a little about 1/4 of an inch. Each way we're 1/4 of an inch off. We need to move it a little bit. Dang it. As I say, this gets to be kind of hard to try and do with just one person. It's hard to hold everything where you need it. That's got us a little closer. We'll have to get the other side. But now we're way off up here. Alright, that's still got us dead on level. We'll move this side, and that should even us back up. Okay. Alright, now that's got us level. A foot of overhang off each end. So we'll go ahead and get it screwed in good and then move on and then move to the other side. I'll give me some screws in my pocket here. We'll have to stop here and go get Daisy unhung. She's done got herself wrapped around the truck tire. So let's stop and get her unhung from the truck real quick. Daisy, what are you doing? Go back around. Come here. Come here. Alright, there you go. Now you can run around again. Yeah. Just say hi to the camera, Daisy. Say hi to the camera. She just wants to play this morning. She's not much interested in paying attention to the camera. Alright, so let's get back around here where we were. Those will work out good because they're 52 inches long. So that'll be because it's going to be 2 4-foot sides. That'll give a little bit of overhang, and then we're going to need to go. I don't think we're going to need to go quite that high.
You don't have to have a certain pitch.
Well, I mean, you just want it steep enough so that, so that it's going to allow plenty of, enough of a slope for, water to run off and stuff that's accumulated on it to run off. So take that board right there and just hold it up there against this one, and let's just kind of look, because I think that's going to be pretty. I think that's going to be a pretty good. Right. I mean, that's fine. All right. Well, I'm just going to turn the other mic off for now. Let it run.
Does that mark? Does it go right in the middle of that mark?
It needs to be right in the center of that mark.
Well, you need to go that way. Your thumb's covering up the board. That looks pretty good.
Just put one in it, and then we'll make sure it's straight up and down.
What about the?
Trick that might help you if you have so much trouble getting them started.
Yeah. Yeah, that does help. Much better.
Okay, now what we got to do is cut one to go across.
Now, is it going to sit on top of those? Or
no, it's going to sit straight. It's going to sit just like this in between them, because your rafters are going to butt up to it.
Gotcha.
What you're going to do, which it should, well, no, it won't be 51 because it'll be.
It ought to be about 49.
No, it's going to be about, it's going to be less because it's on the inside. Daisy, what are you doing? Bored? Dang, and that's what I meant to bring, but
What?
I meant to bring the step ladder.
I was wondering about that.
I meant to bring it.
Otherwise, it's going to be. There ain't nothing we can stand
I'll
on.
turn the Nissan around and stand on the tailgate. That's what I've been doing. But I meant to bring that blue step ladder up.
What about?
If there's one that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, I was just. No, it's hanging off here.
I know, I'm fixing to mark it. Cut off what needs to be cut off. It's just going to be just a little bit that needs to come off of it. It's
back?
water, and some Sackcrete mix from where that Sackcrete was. I was thinking that we ought to set this off and take a stroll and look at the cows since I ain't seen them yet.
Say hi, Tootie.
I don't have any cubes. I just had to find y'all.
There's Olaf. Tootie and Olaf were bottle babies that we raised. Uh-oh. Daisy's getting in trouble over there.
It ain't Daisy. It was the cows coming after her.
That one there is she's bagging up.
She would be, if I had to guess on any, she would be the one I would say next.
And she's definitely bagging. She's not that big.
They all were going to have to get worms soon.
Yeah, I mean, her bag looks full. I wonder if she's got a baby hid somewhere.
Well, I mean, she's been out with the herd all the time. She ain't been
Well, I meant like, but maybe that was why she was slow getting.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, we need to go and try to get them one as soon as possible. All right, you ready? I done took my gloves off somewhere. No, Tootie. No.
You may just have to stay down there and let me. I hate for one of them to knock the damn thing over. As long as Tootie's up here messing around.
Tootie, go on. Get him.
Plus, it'll make some good footage. I'm pretty sure I can do this fairly easy. Turn back of the Nissan, starting to look like a trash can. Alright, so what we want to do is put this thing in the center here. 3.5. This is where, growing up, when you're in school and all, and everybody says that, oh, I'll never use that math or I'll never use this or never use that. Well, just think about it. You go to building something, you're using a tape measure. You got to use math. If you know you're wanting to divide a measurement in half or something like that to know where you're wanting to put your board. So, like I say, everybody all says it. I said it too. I'll never use that stupid math or geometry or whatever. But you will. And most of the time you use it and not even realize you're using it.
Yeah, if I had something where I could balance it, kind of hold it up.
Well, what I was going to do was sit right here. It'll kind of help me. Plus, it should fit tight enough between them. That side will kind of stay where I want it anyway.
Oh, let me see it.
I sure do miss my belt clip that came on this deadgum. Only thing, dear, it'll sit there, but I need a favor.
What?
I need that square so I can make sure that I got this thing straight. Because what we'll do is we'll cut it like that, cut them corners off. When we put our first rafter up here, we'll put a rafter. We'll actually put one on the outside, and we'll cut it. We'll take the Sawzall and cut the whole rafter on an angle, and cut that part off too. That way, it's all on that slope.
Now, how are you gonna park the Nissan?
Well, I'm thinking
I mean, I could hold the board.
I can get the Nissan. I can get the tailgate right there where I need it.
I have to just hold it straight
Because
back.
this is hard. I got that hard and backed up. I can get the Nissan when I need it. We're probably going to have to go. We'll have to have that ladder when we go to putting the metal and crap on. Which if we can get it framed up, this is our redneck ladder. You can't beat these little old trucks though. We bought this thing years ago for $3,500 and it has been like a second hand up here for years and years and years.
I mean, I would like to go ahead and try to get everything
Well,
done.
I know we're
Can.
gonna try and get everything.
So we can
Hand me the
get this
stuff.
done. Get it approved.
Get everything that we can get done, babe. It won't stay.
I know, but I was just gonna try to get it out of your way.
I'm ready to see this pump, this well run.
Right. Me too. Praying every day it runs like it's supposed to. kind of kicked out a little.
Show you another little trick. You got one that's twisted like that that you can't turn on your own.
Ah. That looks pretty good. Eyeball.
Multiple uses of a pipe wrench. Okay, so
You need to bring you a board to check the angle.
well, what I need to do is take one and actually, what we need to do is take a couple of those and cut them in half. Where we're at the 4 foot, because that's what our rafters are going to be.
You got the tape.
We're going to we'll run a full 4 foot.
You got the pencil.
We'll take and split 2 of them in half for right now. We'll get started with that.
And these are true 8 foot, right?
Well, measure it and just see. They're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a teensy bit over 8.
Yeah, it won't matter. I mean, just split it. Just cut it at 4 foot.
You got that print. Use it. It's hard to run this saw with your glove on. Okay, now I got 2. Did you want me to just cut one board?
No, go ahead and cut 2 because we're going to have one.
I taught myself how to use all the power tools and the speedy square and all that. Okay.
Bring one in the square.
You did it again. Why does it do that?
It's because it falls over before the saw cuts it.
Well, said you was gonna put one on the outside.
Right now I'm marking it here.
Okay.
I'm marking the angle that's got to be cut in it. Because once you get one of these marked for your pattern, then you can cut them all.
Already got one. Whoa, shoot. Phew, that was almost a swear word. Oh, we moved it big time.
It's got to kick back around. This side's got to kick back around.
Oh, twist. Yeah, that looks pretty. It looks like it's back in the.
We'll have to play with this a little bit to kind of figure it out. Exactly.
Let me move these. Your water.
On the top, babe.
Oh, like this to be on the side. You want a water?
I've got one over here in the Nissan.
I guess I'll put those right your way.
That's where we want it, but we want to just do it. We want to do it a little bit different on the next one.
Oh yeah, not cut out so.
Not quite as much. I had it mixed up. I was messed up because I was too high, but that's okay because we can use it as our pattern. Just take one and put it up together. like so, and it should come out perfect fit. I might have to do this with the saw.
Okay, be careful. Here, what one?
Okay. Just set right in, just like you want. So, the outside ones, you can actually do them with them up there. I think the outside's going to be a little different.
Well, isn't it gonna sit on the outside of the frame? Like that?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to see how we're going to do that. Guess you're not going to have much for it to sit on.
Can you just nail it up there or screw it up there?
What we'll have to do is cut off the end to make it match.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Marin, help me help hold that in.
Okay.
Man, really? It's gonna be hard to.
You're gonna have to screw it from here.
Well, it's gonna have to be notched. It's gonna have to be cut on an angle so that the other one can go on. Because it doesn't go way down there. It's got to be up here, or it won't match up with the others.
Gotcha. Well, would it be easier to put the others on and
That's
then
what we're gonna do, is put the others in place
figure that one out?
and then lay the level across and get them where they need to be. Alright, so what we got to do, we put that one there. Oh, I need the tape measure, maybe. So figure out how many we need to put across here.
Oh, you're wanting to go past?
Yeah, because it's gonna have a rafter over there.
Okay.
51 and a half. So we do 12, 24, 36. Yep, we'll do them every foot. So we'll need 3 made for the center.
Alright, so you got 2. And this one is another one.
Yeah, we just have to cut the patterns. I'm gonna mark this where they're gonna go up here. Wish that darn thing would lock. That one just don't lock like most of them.